Hi guys, this is Farz and welcome back to another color grading tutorial, and you will get this as a preset also, and it's totally free. Okay, let's start. First, copy the layer by pressing Ctrl and J and then convert it to smart object, and now open it with camera raw filter, and I want to decrease the temperature a little bit, just a little. I think -2 is perfect, and increase the tint +17 for tint. And I want to increase the temperature just a little, that's perfect, and I'm giving 14 for contrast, and I want to decrease the highlights, -100 for highlights, and bump up the shadows to 100, that's perfect, and -3 for white. And now I want to decrease the clarity also just a little. I think -10 is looking good. And now I want to decrease the saturation. I'm giving -15 for saturation. That looks good. And now coming to the curves. And here in the RGB, create a point, and here I'm giving input 0 and output 21. That's perfect. And now create another point, and here I'm giving input 49 and output 44. It looks good. And now another point, and input 132 and output 127, and the last point, input 192 and output 206. So little bit S-type curves. And now coming to the red, and here I'm giving input 33 and output 5. Create another point, and here input 72 and output 49. And now create another point, and here input 105 and output 108. It looks good. And the last one, here input 178 and output 194. Now go to the green channel and input 28 and output 8. Create another point, and here input 119 and output 115. Make another point and input 179, output 194. That looks good. So pretty similar to red. And now coming to the blue channel, here input 21 and output 10. Create another point and input 80 and output 69. Another point and input 115 and output 116. And the last one, input 182 and output 193. So the last three just pretty same, it's fine. And now coming to the detail option, I want to increase the sharpness a little bit, so I'm giving 35 for sharpness and 25 for color noise reduction. And now coming to the hue, and I'm giving 11 for red and -69 for yellow, -100 for green, and 10 for aqueous, just a little for blues, -1, and -24 for purple, and -1 for magenta. That looks good. Now coming to the saturation, and I want to increase the reds a little bit, so I'm giving +12 for red and -45 for orange, then -65 for green, 65 for yellow, and +3 for green, and -100 for aquas, then minus 85 for blues, then minus 100 for purple and minus 100 for magenta. That looks good. Now coming to the luminance, and here I'm giving minus 13 for reds, minus 1 for orange, and 8 for yellows, then minus 6 for aquas, minus 38 for blues, minus 25 for purple, and 42 for magenta. That looks good. Now coming to the split toning option, and here in the highlights I'm giving 215 for hue and minus 1 for balance. And now coming to the camera calibration option, and here I'm giving plus 100 for hue in case of red primary and plus 31 for saturation. That looks good. And minus 100 for hue in case of green primary and 30 for saturation. And now coming to the blue primary, here I am giving minus 50 for hue and minus 12 for saturation. That looks great. Now press Q to see the before and after. If you look at this, the before and the after, it looks great. It creates a cinematic color effect. And now press OK when you are done. Let's see the before and after. This was the before and this is after. It looks great. Okay, let's try with other images also. So let's try with this image. And I'm using exact same setting. Look at this. This was the before and this is after. It looks fine. Okay, now let's try with this one. Again, I'm using the exact same settings. Look at this. This was the before and this is after. It looks great. So I hope you loved this preset, and if you did, hit the like button, leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe.